See.
Hola.
Hello, I'm Aaron. That's Booster. We're your unemployed friends. It's my watch is up.
11:15.
Jesus Christ!
Got late. 11:15 on a Monday.
Yeah, 11:14 on a Monday.
Yeah,
we
sorry.
just saw the Backrooms.
We're late to the party.
We are late to the party because this motherfucker decided to go on vacation.
I was out of town in Seattle and Alaska and all those things, but this good friend of mine, Aaron, waited to see it with me.
I did indeed, and I dodged most spoilers.
I didn't know anything about it.
I did see a image of the monster.
Oh, I hadn't
before
seen
going
that.
in.
Spoilers. There's a monster.
Oh, it's a horror movie. There's a monster.
Well, ironically, the AMC ticketing app calls it an AMC artisan film, not an AMC Thrills and Chills, which is their usual horror film delineation.
That's so funny.
So I was like, okay, this really can't really decide what it wants to be. But if you don't know, this is based on the Backrooms 4chan image, and Kane Parsons is a YouTuber.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
Kane Pixels.
Yeah,
was
whatever
his name
his
on
name.
YouTube. Yeah, he had a series of Blender animations.
It was like fan-made stuff about the Backrooms and this little secret society that tracks it and studies it and stuff like that. And then he got enough money to make an A24 movie and direct it, starring Renata
Rensva and Chiwetel Ejiofor.
So those are two like A24 kind of love child. So
yeah,
it makes sense that
he was
they're in it.
12 Years a Slave?
Yeah.
And he was in Doctor Strange. That's where I know him from.
And Renata Reinsva, she was in A Different
My
Man.
queen, Sentimental Value.
She was also in Sentimental Value, did way better in that movie.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, a 20-year-old kid got to direct 2 Oscar-nominated, I think he might even be Oscar-winning actor, but Renata was just nominated.
She was nominated, and she should have won.
So anyway, he made a lot of YouTube videos about the Backrooms. I've seen maybe a handful of those.
I have seen none of them. I've seen like clips online, but I have not sat down and watched an actual video.
Yeah.
Specifically because when I heard they were making a movie, much like Iron Lung, I was like, cool, I'm going to avoid everything about the original, and I'm just going to watch the movie as a movie without any context or expectations.
Yeah, I was going to say, sorry if you've seen our Iron Lung review. This might be Iron Lung Part 2, because we don't really give a fuck. Well, I'd say that, I mean, I like the Backrooms, as I remember a lot of the liminal compilation YouTube videos in like 2020, whatever that was a thing. So I like them. I think the concept is cool.
Yeah, I've always like I know like the memes and images and stuff, and I've always been like, that is really cool, but then people turned it into like an SCP factory.
I was gonna say,
and that's kind of boring. They have a million different monsters in there.
There's a top tier Jenny Nicholson tweet and video where she delved into the Backrooms wiki, and she compares it to an SCP where there's like 2,000 different monsters that are each like meticulously written, and it's just like, okay, build your own creepypasta. Like that's what the Backrooms became. It's a snore. Yeah, sorry. If you like the Backrooms, this is a review of the movie and only of the movie. Don't flame us like we did with Iron Lung. Anyway,
I liked the movie.
Okay, so
I will say that much.
How did we feel about it? Is the question.
I liked it. I thought it was very well shot. Particularly, I was very impressed by a lot of the cinematography. There were a few too many establishing shots, but they were good shots that like I let it slide. I thought the performances were pretty good. The production design was incredible, but the plot itself left a little to be desired.
Yeah, well, it was written by a guy who's written basically nothing. I don't know why Kane Parsons didn't just write it.
I assumed he had.
No, he didn't. It was written by Will, what's his name, who has like half a credit on Letterboxds. So it's like, I don't know where they got this guy to write this. He had written like TV or something. It was a really random choice.
They spent all their money on Chiwetel and Renata.
Well, in terms of the story, it's all about Chiwetel Ejiofor is this recovering alcoholic who runs a furniture store.
He's not recovering. He's just an alcoholic.
Well, yeah, he's true. He runs a furniture store that's going into the ground, and his therapist is Renata Reinsva, and they both have traumatic backstories.
Yeah.
And eventually he finds a hallway to the back rooms in his basement. Right?
Yeah, he no-clips in through his basement.
He does, just like they did in the original 4chan post. And then he just explores it. And speaking of production design, it was good, but the original YouTube videos were animated in Blender. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So it's like I kept, every time it was in the Backrooms, I was like, oh, I think they're switching to Blender here or not. And that was kind of cool to see. Like which ones were sets, which ones weren't.
There was, before they built a lot of the sets, Kane Parsons went into Blender and built it digitally.
Oh, that's cool.
And was like, hey, just recreate this.
Whoa, neat.
And so like he blocked a lot of shots that way, which I do think is really cool and really impressive.
It's good that he was directing in the way that he was used to.
Yeah.
But in terms of the narrative, I had to say there was there was like 2 found footage sections. There's a guy driving a garbage truck in front of us.
He
looked at us.
looped around to stare at us.
Okay, so there's 2 found footage sections, and I love found footage. Blair Witch Project and Wreck are my 2 favorite scary movies. And my friends basically said, we think you'll like these scenes because you like them. And the intro had me snoozing. It was very kind of generic, and
I liked it solely for the fact that it sets up that there is a monster, which then gives us tension later when he does enter the back rooms for the first time. You were like, oh no, there could be something lurking around every corner, which is like the point. That's like the tension of the back rooms as a concept. So I was fine with that. And then also gave us the little callback with the bird that you're like, okay, there are other people in here.
There's dead birds, yeah. Well, I just wasn't super scared off the very first scene, so
me neither. But it was good as an intro.
It was fine as an intro. It was a little low, and then after a while, like I said, he's this recovering alcoholic who's kind of mellow. He's not like evil as a person. He's like the main character. He's the decoy main character. And then
he is the main character.
He is, but then for reasons they call it a decoy protagonist on TV tropes, where it's like, oh, he's the MC. Oh, he's not, because he enters the back rooms and there's a very long scene, very long, slow and arduous, where he just kind of ponders around, like enters a room, peeks around enters another room. The first act was too slow. Because it was
I liked it.
You like that?
Because I was like tense, and this happens a lot where I'm like, I'll meet a movie where it is, and I was just like, I liked it because I was like, I'm tense right now. Reno was more scared. We saw this with my partner Reno. They didn't bring their suit, so they're not back here, but they gave me some notes. And they were more scared than me, just because that's how they watch movies, like behind one eye, because they were just like worried about a jump scare.
No, I knew that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, same. Which I liked. I thought that was like very, like a good decision, very reserved to not have a cheap jump scare like that.
But then if there's no tension for me or dread, I'm bored. Like, I was bored. It was just...
I was tense.
But you knew there wasn't going to be anything.
I knew there wasn't going to be a jump scare, but it was like... It was the tension of the backrooms is there could be something lurking around every corner.
But there wasn't.
And then there was at the end of that sequence.
At the end of like 10 minutes where he's no dialogue and he's just wandering. He literally does the, hello? Is anybody there? Like, come on, what kind? No, it's almost like a person with no writing credits wrote this movie. Like, come on.
And then, like in that sequence too, it does give you little nuggets that like the scientists are already researching this place.
Yes, I mean we already knew that because of the intro sequence.
Yeah. And it was just like, and you can intuit that they have those.
Why this
people up because they're trying to summon
like
something.
Yeah,
because there's a camera aimed directly at like a scarecrow, like a standee, like that's speaking different languages, like in that one episode of iCarly.
Crazy pull.
That's immediately what I thought of.
I wish it had the ice cream and everything.
Yeah,
the pain is how you learn.
Yeah.
Sorry. So anyway, there's a very long scene where he explores the back rooms the first time, and then.
Oh, yeah, spoilers, by the way, we don't care.
Oh, yeah, kind of. Act 2 starts, and he's, like, tweaking. He goes to his little therapy appointment with Renata Reinspa, and he's like, it's June 20th. Like, he's been, like, 2 weeks, and he's like, I have this whole map drawn out, and I'm tweaking, and here is the map, and I was like, what? A map? What are you talking? You were just there once. What do you mean? So there was literally no I just want a 30-second montage of him exploring or anything.
It felt like there were scenes missing.
Yeah, literally there was like a jump in time, but they didn't explain that or like show it even visually. He was just tweaking, and then he pulls a map out of his pocket. I was like, what? Where did this come from? Like, well, I would have liked to see that. I would like to see him mapping the back rooms or exploring it more. But there was just one long slow scene. So like I said, Act 1 was too slow, and then Act 2 he has another found footage scene where his
assistant manager and like her boyfriend who rents a camera from school.
Yeah.
Which the map scene, I was like, okay, movie, I'll give you that one. You get that one.
I was annoyed.
I also I liked the second found footage scene more.
Well, I was gonna get to that because So then he sends the employee down this little chute where he finds this laundry thing, and he finds one of his old shirts or something, and he's like, what's going on? And then there's a monster kind of, but then he gets swept up and he's saved because he has a rope around him.
Yeah.
And then he's fine, but then he gets dragged down actually, and then there's blood everywhere and he gets like dragged away, and then I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Like, we're going way too fast. Like, it was like the tones were flipped for the first two acts, because the first one was too slow and boring. The second one was too fast and not enough. Because then the main character grabs the camera, and if you remember the liminal space YouTube videos from like 2020,
Yeah.
they pivot through like 5 or 6 in like 10 seconds. He's like, oh, there's the pool rooms, and here's the Christmas tree room. Like, I remember 3 or 4 of them specifically, and it was almost like Leo pointing at the camera. But I was like, why can't we spend some time here? Like, I would have liked to have seen these rooms patiently and with more dread involved, and not just like running by, okay with this one, okay with this one. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
I was dreadful. I was tense.
I wasn't scared because I knew nothing would happen, but I was annoyed because I was like, I like these rooms and I remember them. Why are we just like zooming right by them? How is there a character death that we like already moved past it? What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was very much like, as soon as he brought the 2 into the back rooms, I was like, cool, these guys are going to die.
I know.
Because they were the only other named characters,
True.
and they really didn't have any traits. And I
Yeah.
was like, cool, so they're the ones who get killed.
And then they just died, but there was really no payoff to it. They were just dead. And I was like, okay, we're going.
The
All right.
movie didn't really lose me until after that scene. Like,
Well.
that whole sequence, I was still in it. And then there's like a really cool shot where like he sets the camera down, and then something picks it up, and it's really tall. And I had already been spoiled on what the monster was, so I was like, oh, okay, that's what the monster is. And then it cuts to my queen.
And then suddenly Renata Reinsve is the main character now.
Yeah, and then she goes in
to find him.
and he's crazy. Clark is crazy suddenly.
Evil and crazy for no setup.
And that's when it lost me, because I was just like, oh, we're in the climax?
This is it?
Oh,
We're here
okay,
already?
sure.
Yeah, it was like he's suddenly evil and unhinged. He's like, look, I can like stab this person and eat him. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This is no setup to this at all. What do you mean?
And there were like nuggets of her backstory throughout and none of his. So it was like, so I was like, okay, I can't wait for her to be relevant and like go in, and then the backrooms generate shit based off of her traumatic past, which it was very clear was that's how it works.
Yeah, just memories in general.
Yeah, and which I'm like, that's cool. Like the greatest fear is the human mind.
Yeah, they
and like
said that.
the mind is really bad at remembering things naturally, which I think was very funny compared to the script, where he perfectly remembers his argument with his wife.
Oh yeah.
Like, because they recite it 2 different times and it's bar for bar the same shit. And I was just like, okay, so you remember that pretty clearly.
Well,
but,
that scene just annoyed me because it was just, the backrooms weren't the scary part anymore. It was supposed to be him. He was supposed to be this. So we have the backrooms and these beings that are created by the backrooms and these monsters, and then we're gonna spend a 10-minute scene where he's the evil one. Like, suddenly she would tell Jafar the human is the scary person, even though he's shown no propensity for being like violent or scary at all, even though maybe like one
it's
scene.
like he was a little bit unhinged, and he has anger management problems, but he wasn't angry in that scene. He was just like a psycho where he's like, oh, I don't have to change, which like I kind of got as a character, where it's like he was upset because his wife clearly wants him to change, and then that leads to their breakup, I guess. And then he's like, oh, in here I don't have to change. And I'm like, yeah, and it's implied he's been there for a while.
I know. All the commenters are gonna say, well, in the backrooms it makes you go insane. I don't care. Show me that. Fucking
exactly. It's like there was a scene missing there where I'm like, I want to watch him, like even a 30-second montage of him just like just alone, and just like days passing, and he can't tell because it's always
that would be cooler. I would have enjoyed that.
It's like, it really feels like it could have been 5 minutes longer.
I agree.
Or just reallocate 5 minutes and
anywhere
keep
else,
your hour 45 timeline.
It's an hour and 45. Go ahead.
Reno was saying that they agreed that it fumbles it once we disconnect from Clark, which is where the movie lost me. Because it was a really fun character study until then, of just like this guy just descending because he isn't willing to change, and that's what ultimately, spoiler alert, leads to his downfall. But then it's just like, oh, we're in the climax now. Okay,
no development.
oops.
I know. Yeah.
They also, Reno loves YouTube conceptual horror. They agreed with what is scary is the unknown and yourself is what's scariest, and that I think the first act and some of the second act did that very well. Like that had me. I was sold on all that. And then there's a way to make this scarier than anthology horror, or there isn't a way to make this scarier than anthology horror, because the Backrooms cannot have a protagonist, because then we learn too much.
That's right.
Which is just
learning too much.
It's kind of similar to Iron Lung.
Yes.
It's an environmental thing, and then you give it a protagonist, and then you have to exposit a lot more information.
That's right.
And again, I liked Iron Lung. I gave it a 6.
Oh,
it's a positive score. Yeah, you hated it. Reno hated it. I thought it was good. I view both of these as like, there were a few times during this movie where I was like, oh, yep, the director's 20.
Yeah, I know. But that's...
it was
that's
impressive.
Where my score comes from.
It was impressive that it was comprehensible at all for a guy who's never made a feature-length film before.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah, the movie fumbles it once we disconnect from him. And something we agreed on as well was that, like, psychologically, you have scary experiences as a kid that you don't remember clearly because the brain shuts things down, and then the more you recall things, you recall it differently a little bit each time. Like, it is the human mind. And then the way they watch movies is literally like they're hiding most of their face. It's adorable.
I can't imagine being scared by this though. It's like Undertone.
They did this during Undertone. This is how they watch horror movies. They're really bad about horror, but they love watching them. It's it's very funny. And especially in the last act, they were just worried about gore because they don't do well with gore.
Oh.
So they were scared that like he would stab himself or her or something, and it would get bad.
That wasn't gonna
happen.
happen.
I was quoting all I could think out was the Dropout thing with Jacob Wysocki when Clark was holding a knife. Just like, do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm fucking crazy? That's all I could think about.
Well, I've seen, my favorite Backrooms video was called Pitfalls. I don't know if I have to show it to you when you get home, because it's really cool. It really builds up the fear of the unknown, because there's this unnatural sound, and then he goes down and sees, I don't know how to describe it, but he sees a monster at the end that isn't human or even close to human. Like the monster at the end is like, spoilers again, is like the mascot of the furniture store, I guess.
Yeah, it's him in the commercial.
Yeah, but it's so. He's still human. Like, he's tall and kind of lanky.
Yeah,
but
it's like they got the guy who was the fucked up alien from the end of Alien Romulus, I believe, and they just like CG'd over him.
It was not, like I said, the death of fear is knowledge, right? Is that a quote? Quote me on that.
I don't know if that's a quote, but
yeah.
It's an issue with, I think it's something that the first Alien movie gets perfect.
Well,
where you barely see the xenomorph until like the very end.
That's right.
And it's like the fear is like, what the fuck is that?
And just like in Pitfalls, it shows the monster at the very end, but it's completely not human at all. It's like this black, strange, insane, like uncanny shape. It's not even close to human. So I think it's scarier that way, where it's like, this is completely incomprehensible, like cosmic level horror. Except the monster in this one is just a tall mascot.
They're just like fucked up people.
Yeah.
And when we see like the first one, I was like, oh, how'd they do that?
And
like
then
with SFX makeup, and then the guy at the table with them.
He's like friends with them.
Yeah, that was whack. But like I also kind of get it. The guy at the table with them, I was like, oh, that's like a really cool VFX makeup that they put on this guy, and then he puts a knife in his neck. I'm like, oh, it's a dummy.
Yeah, it's just not a dude at all.
it was very still technically impressive. The production design was the best part, far and away, of this movie.
It was well done, yeah.
And like the themes was just obvious.
They were, yeah.
It's something Reno and I were saying as well, that the setup of this movie is really good, and then they don't want to pay it off in any interesting way. They play it very safe at the end.
Yeah, I saw a Letterboxd review, and it just said they write themselves into a corner, and both characters do not progress beyond their introduction. Like, she's a therapist, he's a drunk furniture dude, and then suddenly he's crazy. Like, the third act was, forget it.
I kind of liked the thing at the very end. Full spoilers now.
That's all right.
Okay, I give it a 7.
I give it a 6, closer to a 5. It might even be a 5. Fuck it.
It would be a 6.5, but I feel generous.
If y'all piss me off in the comments, it might be a 5. So watch yourself. Go ahead.
I was thinking 8 throughout because I did like it, and then it lost me. But I'm like, I liked 2/3 of the movie, so 6.6 repeating, and I'm being nice and rounding up.
Okay.
At the very end, when like she gets not rescued. She gets taken by the like
The scientist,
company that's
yeah.
looking into this. And like they're talking to her, like when there's a shot that's just her face for like a minute, and she's just like, you can just see the wheels turning.
Mhm.
Which great performance. I love you, Renata. You can do no wrong.
She was.
It was like, it felt like that's when she came to understand Clark more finally.
I guess so.
Where like, I guess you could read it early on as like she's a therapist who's just like
Also traumatic.
she's also traumatized, which most therapists are. Every therapist is in therapy. Where like she's just like giving him like, oh, here's how we do this, like mechanically is how we process this, but she doesn't like understand him until I think that last scene.
I guess I see what you're
at
saying.
the table. That's how I read it, where she was like, oh, I'm now in Clark's shoes and this guy is her.
That's interesting.
Her
Right.
in that relationship where she's like, you have the answers and you're not giving them to me.
Oh.
And I think she was like, oh, this must be how Clark felt.
That's cool.
That's how I read that scene. I thought that was very good.
That's a generous reading. I mean, I guess I like your interpretation a lot. Part of me doesn't want to give it to the movie because that seems almost too good for it.
Yeah, and then I'm okay with the ambiguous ending, but it was also like, yeah, there's no character arcs.
No, yeah, she's this pretend main character, and they have this fucking object that keeps reminding her of her abusive mom, and at the very end, of course, she has to kill the monster with the rock, and then it breaks, and it's like, whoa, symbolism. I'm so proud you graduated high school. Nice job. I'm a little rude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. It's just not really my thing. I wanted more out of it.
Yeah, because everyone has been gassing it up for the last week and a half, so I was expecting like,
I know,
really, really good.
It wasn't. No, you didn't think that, did you?
I mean, I knew that it wouldn't be amazing.
Okay, that's fair.
But I was like, it's gonna be really good. Honestly, it's a 6. Sorry.
Well, my thing is, since I had to wait about a week and a half to see it, I saw all my friends who don't see a lot of movies. They're like, "Whoa, it's an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10." Someone said it was like better than David Lynch. I was like, okay, let me hold my tongue. I've learned that my friends don't like it when I'm really mean. So I say, oh, I can't wait to see it. And then I'll just give it a thumbs up or a heart or a like or whatever. I can't wait to have my own opinion. Now I have one. Now I can be mean and be vindicated in my own opinion because I have one.
Yeah.
I don't want to be contrary and be like, well, it probably won't be that good because what if it is?
Yeah.
So I didn't say that. I never said it probably won't be good. I said I can't wait to see it. And now I've seen it and it's not that great. 6 or a 5 out of 10. Sorry, but maybe Backrooms 2 will be better because I'm sure they'll make it.
I am excited to see what he does next because I think a lot of the directorial stuff was very good. The script was really weak.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if he gets someone who has more than one writing credit, apparently, then I think they can make something really good because I think the performances were good, which is his job. I think the sets were incredible, which he built in Blender. The shot compositions a lot of the time like really impressed me, that I'm just like, he's got potential.
He has that's right.
He just needs someone who knows how to write.
Well, he does. If he works, because he said he wants to make a movie about Portal. If he works with Valve as writers,
Portal has to be a game. I'm sorry.
Well, if it was anyone to do it, I think I could see him pitching it to Valve and being like, "Oh, can I please?"
Yeah,
that would be the one.
They would have to do it like the new Resident Evil, where it isn't based on the game at all. It's just in the same universe.
I don't know. I love Portal. I think he could handle it. I mean,
it's a thing where. Sorry, this is a tangent now. Zach Kreger was like, the games are stories that are made for games. You can't just take that and make it a movie because then it's a different medium and it's not going to translate one-to-one because it has to be a game.
Yeah.
So he's getting the vibe.
For Resident Evil, you mean?
Yes, for Resident Evil, which is how you do that. And I think that's what you should do for Portal because those games are games.
The
interactivity is like the whole point.
I wouldn't want a one-to-one copy of Portal, but I think a movie, I think there's potential. I mean, to be honest, Curry Barker, or I don't remember his name.
Curry Barker, yeah.
Yeah, he directed a movie called Milk and Cereal. I watched it last year, and it wasn't that great. It was a 5 out of 10. But then he came out with Obsession, and it is great.
Fantastic.
So maybe Mr. Parsons can follow the same path.
I think a lot of the issues with the movie were not directly his fault.
I think so. I think the writing, I don't know where do they find, I don't understand. How do they find these writers, man? The writers of Freaky Friday had like 1 credit. The writer of this had half a credit. Like not to say I could do better, but it's like, where are these people coming from? I don't get it. But that's
They're
it.
AI generating writers to then write a script.
I want to go to bed, so we'll catch you on the flip side. We're seeing
Yes.
Disclosure Day this weekend.
Yeah, and Leviticus this month.
Oh, yeah.
And
Other
Toy
things.
Stories this month.
Toy Story 5. I will not want to see that, but we will.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Stay
Bye.
tuned. Okay.
Like, comment, subscribe.